Okay, I had to unexpectedly take the day off, so we're going to have to do a video lesson today. So we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. I'm going to ask that you start at the announcement page, and I would like you to click on the web design document link because this is where I added some information from yesterday. Okay, so what you should do is have the file open from yesterday where we left off. We left off playing around with this heading, and I want to expand on that today. Now, your file might look slightly different than mine, just in terms of the comments that look different, but that's no big deal. I'm also using a Mac, so I'm not using Notepad++, so just continue on with Notepad++. You shouldn't have any issues because what I type here and what you type will work the same. Okay, so in the web design document, I'm going to scroll down. Yesterday, when we got started on HTML, in some of the classes, we talked about W3 Schools and that it's a great resource. Notice it's linked, so I'm going to click that. And we're going to use this website today. So we may search by tutorial topic, or we may just go all the way down to the bottom and use the tag list, but we'll talk more about that later. So back to the web design document. So yesterday we started with this code and edited it. Now here we are today. So looks like I'm on page 6. So this is what I added. Please replace the code between the body and the slash body tags with the following code. So I want you to copy this. Go back to your index HTML file that you have open in Notepad++. And you're going to copy that between the body and the slash body. So you're just going to put that right there. So you're going to do Control V. So all these comments are showing you things that we're going to work on today. So what I want you to do is after this /H1, hit enter. And then after each comment for paragraph, numbered list, bulleted list, link, put links in a list, images, and then there's already one for tables. So we're going to try to get as much of this done as possible. So let's talk about this heading. In some of the classes, we started playing around with these numbers. We tried H1, H6, H3, and we saw the size changing. So the H tags followed by the numbers are called heading tags. You can have H1, which is the largest size, and H6, which is the smallest size. Now, if I go back to W3 Schools, I'm going to click on the tab. And I'll see here on the tutorial is a little place to click called HTML headings. So headings are where we are labeling chunks of our web page, essentially. It's the way I like to say it. So let's click it. Now, usually we say H1 is the most important heading, H6 would be least important, H2 would be a first subheading, and so on. So what you're going to see in W3 Schools is you're going to see opportunities to look at other people's code. So this is showing what a page looks like. Let's go to try it yourself. And what you're going to see is the code on the left that makes this web page on the right. So what we can do is do a little stealing. If I want to see a sample of all 6 different sizes of headings, I can copy this. So just highlight and do a Control C. Go back to your Notepad++. And what I want to do is replace this H1 with what I'm copying. Okay, so do a Control V. Now, if you remember from yesterday, anytime we made a change in our file, we had to save it and then refresh it. So again, I'm using TextEdit. It's going to look different, but go ahead and save, file save. And if you recall, in order for us to run our file, we had to go to the demo website folder and double click, and there is our web page displayed. Okay, so let's go back. Now, the next tag I want to talk about is the paragraph tag. Let's go to W3 Schools. And honestly, they don't do a very good job of giving you an example. But let's look at what they did. HTML paragraphs. So when I come here, they always start with a little explanation. So the tag for paragraph is the P. So P and slash P. Everything between these two tags is considered a paragraph. Well, one sentence from my perspective really isn't a paragraph, but I want you to see what happens when you have multiple paragraphs in your web page. So let's go ahead and say try it yourself. So here is 3 paragraphs. Now, when I display it on the right, what you're going to notice is a couple things. The paragraphs are all lined up on the left, which is no big surprise. But what is a surprise is that there's a blank line or one row of white space between all the paragraphs. That happens automatically in HTML when you use the paragraph tag. So, what is it going to look like in our web page? The only thing I don't like is that these are really short. This is really not representative of a paragraph. So what I want you to do is go back to the web design page. I put in a link that says paragraph sample. We're going to use this paragraph. So click it. And that takes you to the Writing Center. So as it turns out, I found this pretty long paragraph here. It's multi-line. And I'd like to use that. So let's go ahead and copy this text. So I'm going to do a Control-C. Now I'm going to go back to my text edit file. And we're trying to put a sample in of a paragraph. After the paragraph comment, I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to put in the opening tag of P. I'm going to paste in all of that paragraph. And at the end of the paragraph, I put in the slash P. So this tells the browser that I'm done with this paragraph. Now, I'd like to put in a second paragraph. So I'm going to put in another starting tag for another paragraph. So I'll put in P inside the tags. Let's go back to that website that we were just at. Where was I at? Here we go. Let's take this other paragraph. How do I decide what to put in a paragraph? Let's copy that. So it's Control-C on that one. Let's go back to Notepad++. And now let's paste that paragraph text in. And then we're going to tell the browser.